Welcome to Equal Entertainment. I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist. We have an update on Jamie Foxx's condition. The actor is now at a rehab facility in Chicago. The Oscar-winning actor was admitted to a hospital in Atlanta last month for an undisclosed illness. According to a source, Foxx has been receiving care there for the past 2 weeks. The individual did not disclose what Foxx is being treated for, but the center specializes in rehabilitation care for patients with physical impairments, brain or spine injuries. No further information was provided. TV fans can't get enough of the Yellowstone franchise. Its latest saga, 1923, is very much worth the hype. There's incredible acting, a stunning Western backdrop, and gripping accounts of life for Indigenous people during this time. I spoke with Aminah Nieves about her role as Tiana Rainwater. It really struck me, that scene where you have fought back against Sister Mary, who is incredibly abusive, and you both end up in the office of this really sicko Catholic priest who uses you against her and her against you. So he's pitting women against each other. But she is a tool of the white male patriarchy. And even though she's also abused under it. So I thought that the writing in this scene was really incredible to shine a light on how those systems work. And I wonder, would you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah, of course. I think in that moment, too, she's really believing that what she's doing, and I'm saying she, in regards to Sister Mary, she believes that what she's doing is accurate, and she's going to the Bible and believing that, that all of everything that she's done up until that point and what she's going to continue to do is right. And someone asked me, they asked me, who's the biggest enemy or big on the
villain?
Yes, thank you. They asked me, they're like, who's the biggest villain of the show? Like, who do you think it'll be, or who is it? And I was sitting with that question, and I was like, I think if you really pay attention to the show as a whole, I think the biggest villain is religion in that aspect, Yes.
Yeah. No, you don't have to say more about that. But you do have these incredibly intense, violent scenes with Sister Mary, and she's played by Jennifer Ely, incredible actor. Would you talk a little bit about working with Jennifer?
Jennifer is absolutely incredible. I love her through and through. She's a gem. Jennifer Ely is just, she's a dream, and she's full of so much wisdom and has such a huge heart. I love her. I was just looking at my phone earlier because I'm downloading everything, and I have photos of her that we would send one another photos back and forth of just like weird faces, just to like check in. But she's great. I really, really do adore her.
Wonderful. And then thank you. And well, the show has some buzz for Emmys, and and your performance is incredible in it. It's just outstanding. Are you excited about award season?
Yeah. I'm like curious. It's always
Sure. The Queer Eye crew is back and better than ever. The newest season is streaming now on Netflix, and this time New Orleans plays host to the transformations. I had the honor of speaking to the cast about their takeaways from the season and continuing to promote love and acceptance, especially during this time of anti-LGBTQ+ legislation. Thank you for chatting with me, and congratulations on season 7.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm going to go to you, Anthony, and just ask you to talk a little bit about New Orleans as a character in this season.
I love that you referred to it as a character, because I do feel like it truly is, just from the visuals alone when the season opens out. It does open with us on the French Quarter, right? Dancing about like Muppets. Yeah.
You guys dance like Muppets. That was really grateful.
I will speak for myself.
Yes, thank you.
To just the influence that I think Creole and Cajun culture have on on cuisine, and I think, I can speak for all of us in terms of how that's kind of like influenced our verticals for this season. But I feel like New Orleans was truly like the sixth member this season.
Yeah, incredible. Well, I'm going to make a little bit of a hard pivot because I want to make sure I ask this question. And this one's for you, Jonathan. We are at a really incredibly difficult inflection point for LGBTQ plus people with the anti-LGBTQ plus bills and drag bans and the book bans. And you all are out there talking to people and being your authentic selves, and this visibility is so critical. And would you talk about how that's changed from previous seasons to now, Jonathan? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me singular, or like for me individually, I didn't expect to like relocate to Austin, Texas, but I ended up relocating there when we shot Queer Eye season 6. So I've been there ever since, and it feels very different in the targeting of the bills. This isn't the first time that we've had these types of bills. There was bathroom bills that were lobbied and tried to be passed in like 2014, a little earlier. But the new legislation and just the sheer volume and onslaught of it feels like it really has a sense of urgency and, real teeth. And a lot of these bills, I think just last week, of like the 500 that have been that had been debated across state legislatures in this legislative session this year, like 9 were passed, just last week alone. So it's been just a sheer volume issue. But I think for me, it's really important that I actually get out and yes, have conversations in my life, but actually go to the Capitol, actually try to meet with legislators, talk to constituents, and try to figure out how can we come together at this and make a unified front in the face of what's been a really aggressive time. It means it always has meant a lot. It feels even more urgent now though, and important for us to one bigger concern that I have with this writ large is that I think everyone can agree with since we've started is that really, really polarized. We were already polarized in 2018 with the right really staying amongst the right, left staying with the left. I think that's one breakthrough that we've had more into this center, that we will reach out and we do talk to people that you wouldn't maybe necessarily associate us with doing a makeover on, and we do bring different communities together. But that's not happening in small town America. That's not happening in Texas. It's not happening in Missouri, Florida, Arkansas, all these places that have the biggest volume of these bills. I think the more we can get out of the islands, and even though it's painful and even though it's uncomfortable and scary to reach out to people that don't agree with who we are as people and want to even question our humanity, we got to keep trying to reach out. Because if we keep on these islands, we're just going to keep having more of this ridiculous legislation.
Yeah, agreed. And thank you very much
for that.
Sorry, it was
such a long answer.
No. It's a huge answer for 5 minutes. So,
sorry.
But it's an important one. And then, Karamo, I would love for you to kind of speak to that in a way. And, what does it mean to you when people come up to you and thank you for being, all of you, for being who you are and giving this authenticity in the world?
I think with anyone who has the privilege of being queer and in the public eye, you understand that it's a privilege because you get to inspire someone else to know that their authentic self is enough, and that their authentic self and walking through this world and their authentic self is what matters. And even when you're faced with people who don't appreciate your authentic self, because we all know what that is like, whether it comes from a family, a friend, a job, we also can appreciate the fact that there's community. And the fact that we're on television, we still, when people come into us in the clubs, we hug them, we support them, we say you're not alone, we see you, we're here for you. And I think those two things for us being on this platform has been great, because we know there's a generation that's going to see us just like we saw people before us that did amazing things, that said, you know what, I can be my most courageous and authentic self. They're seeing that as well, but they also know, because we're a tight-knit community as a queer community, that when you feel pain, we're here to help you, we're here to hold you, and we're here to support you.
Thank you so much to the Queer Eye cast for speaking with me. I've been a big fan of theirs for a long time, and seeing them transform lives is truly special. The new season in New Orleans is streaming now on Netflix. I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist, and that's what's happening in entertainment.